Hi, I love to travel, especially to small towns. And when I do so, I love visiting antique stores because you never know what you're gonna find. To me, it's as if you're stepping back in time as soon as you walk in through that front door. Lucky for me, I went on a road trip a couple of years ago to the Blue Ridge Mountains in Georgia, absolutely gorgeous, and I saw this antique window frame. As soon as I saw it, I said, well, A, I can take this home with me in the car, it actually fits, and B, I actually envisioned turning this into a bulletin board. So that's gonna be our DIY project for today. Materials needed for this project are an old window frame, cork roll, spray adhesive, straight edge, scissors, twine, screw eyelets, mini clothespins and push pins, sawtooth hangers, and a measuring tape. I'm using the top half of the window for photos and the bottom half as a bulletin board. So let's begin by measuring the size of the window pane to cut the cork inserts. Initially, I thought I could cut the cork with a blade and straight edge, but as I quickly learned, that was an epic fail. Well, that didn't go as planned. Originally, I thought, well, a blade is much better to cut the cork. As it turns out, it's not. It really damages all the edges. So the solution was to use a pair of scissors. Lesson learned. I made the mistake so that you don't have to. Now we know. I cut 3 layers of the cork to make it thick enough to hold the push pin. And before I apply the spray adhesive to glue the cork onto the glass, I mask off the frame with painter's tape to make sure it doesn't get sticky with the glue. You can probably also use a hot glue gun for this step, but I find the spray adhesive is better for even contact against the glass itself. Okay, we are halfway there, literally because it's half of the window. Let's now work on the upper portion. For the upper half, I'm placing 10 small screw eyelets on either side of the frame about an inch apart. These are very small, so my trick to create a pilot hole is to use a finish nail and hammer, which will allow the eyelets to grab the wood better as you begin to turn it. The next step is to cut a piece of twine long enough to lace through the eyelets, just like you do when you tie your shoes. To prevent the ends of the twine from fraying, simply use a piece of tape at the tip. Trust me, it makes it so much easier to thread through the screw eyelets. Once you reach the end, tie a knot and cut the excess. I love the natural look of the twine with the vintage window. Finally, to hang our new bulletin board on the wall, I'm attaching sawtooth hangers on either side for stability. To add even more whimsy to this project, I'm using mini clothespins that you can buy at any craft store to display photos from the twine. And there you have it. Display photos on top and notes on the bottom, or you can mix it up. In my case, I have vintage photographs of my parents' wedding, and on the bottom I have things that you would typically put on a bulletin board so that you don't forget. My grocery list, inspirational phrases. You can even use the entire window frame as a vision board if you wish. The point is that you created something that's one of a kind, beautiful, and functional all at the same time. And it will always remind me of my travels and specifically my adventures in the mountains of Georgia. You never know where you'll find inspiration. I'm Martin Amado. Until next time.